Have you ever made a choice so painful that it haunts you years later? He was a millionaire now, riding in the back of a black Bentley with tinted windows and air so cold it could freeze time. But on that ordinary street corner, right by a cracked sidewalk and a faded bus stop sign, he saw her, his ex standing there with 3 little boys. All of them had his eyes. And in that moment time stopped. Was this fate? Or was this guilt chasing him down? Derrick Morgan wasn't just any millionaire. He was the name behind Morgan Tech, a rising tech company out of Atlanta that had just signed a multi-million-dollar deal with Silicon Valley. He was 36, sleek, powerful, and controlled every room he walked into. Yet today he felt unsettled. It started when his driver made an unexpected detour. Construction had blocked the main road, so they rerouted through a quieter neighborhood, one Derrick hadn't seen in nearly a decade. He looked out the window, distracted by the buzzing of his phone and a voice message from his assistant reminding him about the Forbes interview. But then he saw them. Woman. Her brown skin glowing in the Georgia sun, dreadlocks wrapped in a patterned scarf. She was standing still with 3 boys around her. One of the boys reached for her hand. And that's when Derrick's heart dropped. Those boys weren't just random kids. They had the same dimples when they smiled. The same light brown eyes. The same sharp chin and tight curls. One even tilted his head just like Derrick did when he was confused. He told his driver to stop the car. "Sir?" the driver asked. "Just stop the car." Derrick stepped out in his tailored gray suit, a Rolex gleaming on his wrist. But inside he felt like a teenager again. Her name was Alana Rivers. The love of his life, once. They met in college. He was the computer science nerd with a quiet confidence, and she was the spirited education major with a smile that lit up rooms. Their relationship had been passionate, chaotic, real. But it had ended in pain. Derrick's mother, cold, ruthless, and obsessed with social image, never accepted Alana. "She's not from our world," she said once at dinner, her voice like ice. And eventually Derrick caved. He left Alana after graduation. No closure. No warning. Just a text that read, "I'm sorry. I can't." He never forgave himself. And now there she was, holding the hand of a boy who looked just like a 6-year-old version of him. "Alana," he said gently, like saying her name might break him. She turned slowly. Her eyes widened, then narrowed. "Derrick," she said, her voice laced with disbelief, and something else. Not anger. Just distance. The boys stared at him curiously. You have kids?" he asked, swallowing. "They're mine," she said simply. "Are they?" He didn't finish the sentence. Alana tilted her head. "You don't get to ask that." Derrick felt like the wind had been knocked out of him. She looked down at the boys. "Come on, babies. Bus is coming." The youngest tugged her sleeve. "Mama, who is that man?" Alana didn't answer. But she glanced once more at Derrick, then turned away. And he watched her walk off, 3 little boys following behind. That night Derrick couldn't sleep. Days passed. But her face never left his mind. So he did something unexpected. He asked his assistant to find out where she worked. It turned out, Alana was teaching 3rd grade at a public school in one of the roughest neighborhoods in Atlanta. Her car was 20 years old. She worked 2 jobs. And she never married. Derrick didn't approach her again right away. Instead, he anonymously donated new computers to her school. Laptop. A library renovation. Smart boards for her classroom. Alana received the news with disbelief. "We have no idea who the donor is," the principal told her. But she had a guess. Then, one rainy afternoon, a box of groceries appeared on her porch. Organic produce, kids' vitamins, lunchbox snacks. She opened the note. "From someone who still remembers your favorite cereal. Honey Nut Cheerios." Tears ran down her cheeks. A month later, Derrick returned to that same bus stop. This time he waited. When she walked up, umbrella in hand, she saw him. He smiled. Can we talk? Please. She didn't answer right away. But something in his eyes, remorse, sincerity, softened her. They went to a nearby cafe. No fancy suits. No tech deals. Just two people sitting with years between them. He apologized. Fully. With tears in his eyes. I was scared. Of losing my family's approval. Of not being enough. But I've lived a decade with success and no soul. Lana, I'm so sorry. For all of it. For walking away. For not knowing. For not fighting. She sat silently for a long moment. Then finally said, "You broke me, Derrick. But I rebuilt." And he replied, "I don't want to take anything from you. I just want to be there. For them. For you if you'll let me." It wasn't instant. But over weeks, Derrick met the boys. Jalen, Marcus, and Theo. They were smart, funny, and full of life. He attended school events. Brought them books. Helped with math homework. Took them to a museum about black inventors and quietly cried in the parking lot afterward. The boys began to call him D. Then, Mr. Derrick. Then one day Theo called out, "Dad!" And Derrick's heart burst. He proposed no grand romance with Alana. Just partnership, respect, co-parenting, whatever she needed. But Alana saw how the boys lit up around him. How he listened. How he showed up. She let him in. Months later, she stood watching the boys run around a park, Derrick chasing after them, laughing with abandon. And Alana whispered to herself, maybe some stories do get a second chapter. Can you imagine how Derrick felt after all those years, holding the hand of the son he never knew he had? Or how Alana felt, seeing the man who broke her finally choose to build something real? Because sometimes, kindness isn't about grand gestures. It's about showing up, saying sorry, being there. This story reminds us all. Love doesn't always come easy. But healing is possible. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share your own stories of kindness in the comments. And don't miss our next story, about a janitor who saved a billionaire's daughter without ever knowing who she was. Kindness is powerful. And you, yes, you might be someone's miracle.